Now, I'm going to do this manually because it just kind of seems like I don't have to do too much. But I'm going to open up his mouth a little bit like that. And since I have his jaw selected, I'm going to, and you move his teeth by middle mouse, you select the channel, and you middle mouse drag to move his teeth, like so. Select the face and select all. And then I'm going to go to the S. And then let's just close down his mouth a little bit. I'm going to, let's spread his cheeks out just a bit, like so. I'm going to grab his jaw, and I'm going to make his teeth come together to make the sh sound. Lower teeth, like so. Select all face, keyframe that. And I'm going to go to the M, and I'm going to close his mouth down. So I'm going to select the jaw, and go to the lips, bottom lips. Now you have to be careful now. I have moved his teeth, but his jaw needs to come a little closer to close his lips down, which is going to make his teeth overlap. And you might have to go kind of back and forth a little bit. I'm going to adjust. This takes a little bit of kind of tweaking to get the M. Like so. I'm going to close his teeth down, open his teeth up a little bit, because I'm going to actually make it go to 0, which is the default, which in theory, which means that if I were to close his lips down, his teeth wouldn't be overlapping with his upper teeth. And let's select the face, select all, and keyframe it. Okay, so there we go. Now for the after M, he's going to go, "Where's my?" Now you could probably just go and just reshape that mouth, but if you look back here, I'm going to select all face. I'm looking at frame 19 and going, that kind of looks like a good mouth shape for my. So I'm going to go to that frame there, and I'm going to hold down the middle mouse, and I'm going to drag it to frame 25, which is where he says my. Let go, press S to keyframe it. And you see what I just did there? So I just copied and pasted a mouth shape because I had it all selected. And then for frame 26, I'm just going to open it up just a little more. Not doing a lot of work. Let's spread his cheeks out a little bit like that. Select all face, keyframe it. Now we're going to say the J for JellyBean. I'm going to go to frame 29. And let's just see if I can, yeah, I'm going to go to frame 21. Make sure I have it all selected. I'm going to borrow this mouth shape. I'm going to go to frame 28, keyframe it there. But I'm just going to not use the exact shape. I'm going to I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to give it a little bit of difference than the frame that I just borrowed it from. And select all face, keyframe it. And then I want to go back. Let's go to frame 20. It doesn't have to be a keyframe. You can borrow a shape from any place in the timeline. Make sure I have select all face. And I'm going to go to frame 30 and I'm going to keyframe that there. Okay, so now he's going the L for jelly. We have a tongue that he's going to need to use. Might want to make it invisible so you can see. Control. And you can actually select this and either let's turn his geometry back on. You can move it and put it in, move it out, and rotate it. And I'm going to just keyframe that there just so it stays there. Let's go select all, keyframe. I'm going to fix that later. The tongue seems to be intersecting with his bottom jaw a little bit. And select all face, keyframe it. Let's go back to that tongue. Sometimes the tongue is a little hard to, you have 3 sections here. I'm just going to do the first section and I'll go back and I'll fine tune it later. But I have that section there. And I'm going to just maybe move this back a little bit so it doesn't intersect. Keyframe that. Okay. Now he's going B for bean, which is similar to the M. And I'm going to select all face and put that there. Except the B is a little more tighter. I'm going to kind of make it a little bit different. Like that. And grab his jaw and I'm just going to move his bottom lip. I'm grabbing all 3 and I'm just going to move it up a little bit to give it more of a B sound. I'm going to select all face and keyframe it. Now for the E and bean, I'm going to borrow, I think that looks like E. I might I may change it up a little bit, but select all face. Actually, I'm going to make it the N in bean, but watch what I do. So I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to go back to, I'm also going to make it the E in bean, so it's E and N. Bean, eating, same mouth shape, but I'm going to go to bean first, the N part of bean, and close it down a little bit. Kind of play with those cheeks, sides of the corners of the mouth a little bit, like so. Select all. And then I'm going to open this up for the E, like there. Select all face. So I've got it pretty much. And you can ease it out here. Let's just ease it out a little bit. Go to frame 48. Let's go to frame 50. go to the bottom lip, bring these out like that. And it's just an ease out. Now I noticed here at the beginning that this timing isn't really like what I want. So I'm going to select all face, and I'm going to just, if I shift select that keyframe, I can move it there. I'm also going to hold this face a little bit. I'm going to go to frame 2, and then I'm going to middle mouse drag it to about frame 9, keyframe it. So what he's doing is he's doing a moving hold, because I'm going from frame 1 to frame 2, except I made frame 2 frame 9 now. So it's just a little drift, and then from frame 9, 10, 11, 12, he's going to the ooh, where's... And let's just take a look at that.
Where's my jelly bean?
Not bad. Needs a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of tweaking, but I'm kind of happy with that now. And I'm going to just move on. So let's just say I went and did all of my lip sync there, and I'm good to go to the body. So let's move on to the body now. I'm going to turn the visibility off on the face controls. I've also haven't done the eyes yet. We can go back and do the eye motion as well. That's usually kind of a last thing that I do, and I can show you that later. So now we're just going to do some basic body motion, and we're going to select all body, and I'm going to go to the first. I'm just going to pose him first of all, and the first thing I like to do is, you know, grab his body, grab his mover, his main mover here, kind of give him a just a kind of a natural looking pose. Let's move his foot out a little bit like that. His hands look kind of blocky. I really don't like the default hand position, so I like to first start out by going like to master grip, loosening his grip a little bit. Then there's master cup, which just sort of spreads. It just kind of offsets his fingers a little bit. Oh, let's do the thumb. Let's just bring the thumb in. Sometimes the thumb you have to go down and actually kind of move the thumb in like that. And let's do the same thing with this hand here. Let's start, since we're there, let's move his thumb in. Go back up to the main. I'm just kind of giving it a just a basic, you know, just a basic kind of natural looking hand looking motion there, like that. Okay, so, and I'm using FK hands here, forward kinematics, not IK. You can use IK if you want. It's up to you. For this, I'm just going to be using forward kinematics, like so, and like that. And let's just move his head. Let's turn his head. Now notice something. What is going on with his head is his eyes are followed. I'm going to turn on his face controls again. His eyes are going to be targeted to his eye controls there. Now you can change that. Actually, I go back and forth. If he's focused on something, I just have him eye follow, keep it at 0. But I'm going to put the eye follow at 1. And what that does is when he moves his head, the eyes are going to move with it. So you have to, it's just a different way of animating the eyes and whatnot.